What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything you need to know about and what's going on here in our country on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, and a stimulus check update. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. And remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will keep you up to date here. New virus cases here in the US are continuing to rise here, and they're saying the CDC says now here in the US that 3 out of every 4 children has now caught the virus, but you can catch the virus multiple times now. Data shows that almost 60% of people over the age of 17 has already caught the virus here as well. Yeah, so this is just an eye-opening figure here. You can also see here, new virus cases are on the upswing here again. You can see the most recent numbers here, the average 7 day, the cases are always lower here on the weekend because just the way reporting is. But the 7 day average, 57,000 new cases per day on the upswing here. You can see here, April 29th, 81,000 new cases. April the 27th, 84,000 new cases. So you can see here, it is starting to go up, back up here pretty dramatically. And you know how it is. It's just kind of this parabolic curve. And the question here is, are we going to see another massive spike here again, where we're at a million plus cases per day, like we've seen back here in January and February? And over there in China right now, they have millions of people in lockdown. You can see the headline here, and people literally locked in behind gates. Lockdowns in China turn millions of people into virtual prisoners. You can see this other headline here. Pot banging Shanghai residents protests their lockdown rules. They have over 400 million people in lockdown in China. Shanghai, just one city, but massive parts of China are in lockdown. So, and in fact, they've been in lockdown for over 5 weeks now. Can you imagine that? Yeah, you can see here the Chinese government has been pursuing a zero COVID strategy since the beginning of the pandemic, while aiming the aim of keeping the country entirely virus free. Criticism of the government is rare in China, pretty much because they'll throw you in jail. But residents said they have struggled to access food supplies, while others have been temporarily evacuated from their homes so that they can be disinfected. Meanwhile, here in the US, Pfizer says that their virus treatment Paxlovid fails to prevent infection of household members. Yeah, Pfizer said this here on Friday. A large trial found that its new virus oral antivirus treatment Paxlovid was not effective at preventing virus infection in people living with someone infected with the virus. The trial enrolled with 3,000 adults who were household contacts exposed to an individual who was experiencing symptoms had recently tested positive for the virus. They were either given Paxlovid for 5 or 10 days or a placebo. So, yeah, those are the results on that. Pfizer said the safety data in the trial was consistent with previous studies, which had shown the pills to be nearly 90% effective at preventing hospitalization or death in virus patients at high risk of severe illness when taken for 5 days shortly after symptom onset. That's the key there, shortly after symptom onset. Also, Moderna says that they are going to have, or they're aiming for a fall release for their Omicron variant specific vaccine boosters. So they're going to have a Omicron variant specific vaccine booster potentially this fall. Yeah, and they said this just days after asking the FDA for authorization for use for its vaccine for children, saying, quote, "We announced a couple of weeks ago a new variant specific booster that we've been testing, and we have an additional candidate, our lead candidate in testing now that I believe is going to be even more superior," their chief medical officer said. "We are confident that by the fall of this year, we should have large amounts of that new booster vaccine that will protect against Omicron and other variants and really protect Americans and people around the world as we go into the fall of 2022." And the FDA has set a tentative June date for meeting on young kids vaccines for kids under the age of 5, and we'll provide more details once applications from Pfizer and Moderna are complete. They have a date of June 8th, 21st, and 22nd set aside. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Do you think we're going to see more waves of the pandemic? Do you think they're going to continue on? Do you think that this is going to be like the flu or the cold seasons where they just are here every single year? Do you think it'll go away at any given point? So it's really hard to say here. Do you think that with this modern medicine, with these Paxlovid and these new kind of treatments that are coming out, do you think that when people catch it, that some of these treatments or the vaccines, do you think that medicine will be able to evolve enough that going forward we'll be able to get some type of treatment or something that will make it so it really won't be that detrimental? Because when you kind of look here, the US is coming up on 1 million deaths here in the United States alone. And when you look worldwide, 6.2 million deaths here worldwide. Um, yeah, it's really, really sad. And we go back here to the United States. It's just really, really sad. And I know I've seen a lot of comments from viewers here that have had family members that have passed away here from the virus or complications from the virus. So um, I know this has hit, members of our community here. So you think about 1 million people from the United States alone, and it's still going on. It's still going on here. In fact, the Vice President of the United States and Nancy Pelosi and a lot of members of Congress here just recently, and you look at events like this where they call them super spreader events, and you kind of got to wonder, are events like this gonna ever really be back to normal? You look at the White House press secretary, Jen Psaki here. She's caught the virus multiple times. Yeah, if you watch my previous video here, they were kind of joking about her catching it multiple times. And it's just kind of weird because when you go to an event, like a sports event or something that has a lot of people, it just kind of feels weird, because, when you're around hundreds or thousands of people, it's just kind of a different feeling nowadays. And especially for me, we got a young son, Julian, who's 4, and my mom, she's 75, my dad's 71, Laurel's parents as well, and Julian, we didn't put him in school last year because because of the pandemic and how bad it was, and it would have been just preschool. In fact, it'll be preschool again this year, but it's just obviously he can't even be vaccinated. He's only 4, but it's just kind of it's just like a different world nowadays. It's just a different world. In fact, recent reports have come out that restaurants, their business is still well below pre-pandemic levels because people's habits have just changed. Their habits are just different. People just don't go out to eat as much as they used to. Um, so yeah, a lot of businesses have gone back to normal. A lot of businesses, their levels are back to normal, or some businesses are even above pre-pandemic levels. But some businesses, like restaurants, have not recovered. A lot of people just their habits are different now. So yeah, and I don't know the data on sporting events, but it would be interesting to see. I know that football seemed to have some packed stadiums, but I don't know. You could let me know your thoughts here. I know that, and again, a lot of people have different opinions. Some people are like, I don't care. I caught the virus and I was fine. But I mean, I know that he's kind of like my brother in law. He was my sister's fiance. He caught the virus and he was in the hospital for like, I don't even know, maybe like a week or two. So, I mean, it really just depends on your personal situation with the virus. So, yeah. And I know that like the Delta variant they say was the worst one, was the worst one. And really, if you think about stimulus checks, unemployment checks, rent assistance, mortgage assistance, utility assistance, and this extra SNAP benefit bonuses, all of that came from the pandemic. If it weren't for the pandemic, we wouldn't have got stimulus check one, stimulus check two, stimulus check three. We wouldn't have got the extra SNAP bonuses that are still going on in dozens of states here still to this day. We wouldn't have got the rent assistance, the mortgage assistance, utility assistance would be going on. Some of those programs have been going on for a while, but there has been extra money added to utility assistance. So that's kind of maybe a half and half situation. But you look at a lot of these extra programs have been done because of the pandemic. You look at that extra unemployment assistance. The student loan forgiveness, I'm not sure if we can equate that to the pandemic or not. Nah, definitely the student loan payment pause. They definitely did that because of the pandemic. That's been still paused here. I mean, former President Donald Trump paused that basically right after the virus hit, and it's now been paused since then. So anybody with federal student loans has been able to not have to pay those payments for over 2 years now, and not have any interest accumulate, and not have any penalties or garnishments or anything like that. Just the interest alone not piling up for over 2 years, and if you've been making payments on it, you've been whittling that down. Remember, the average student loan payment is about it's like $5,000 a year, $5,000 a year on average. So there's just been so many different type of programs because of this pandemic to help out people. So, three stimulus checks, rent assistance, mortgage assistance, utility assistance, SNAP assistance, pandemic EBT assistance, which is for school children. Basically, it's just money to help you pay for meals. And there's honestly probably some I'm forgetting. Paycheck protection program, which went to owners of small businesses to pay for the paychecks of the employees. So it's kind of helped out employees and owners there. You really kind of think about all these different programs. The heart of it is because of the pandemic. And remember that the president just extended the pandemic emergency declaration. It was going to expire on April 15th, and he extended it for 90 more days for 3 more months. Okay. So the whole pandemic thing is a big thing. Okay. So we do got to kind of keep an eye on the virus cases, the health declaration, this whole thing. You do got to actually we still got to keep up on this news because it's actually a big thing. The whole virus, the vaccines, everything, because this is actually going to equate to a lot of our benefits. SNAP benefits, actually Medicaid benefits are in there. A lot of different things. The stimulus checks actually, remember stimulus check one, two, and three were because of the pandemic. Now they actually could be because of inflation and gas prices and stuff like that. But remember that the whole pandemic health emergency, that's still a broad picture overview of stimulus checks, right? That still ties into the whole equation there. So, and remember that as the longer that pandemic health emergency is extended, extra SNAP benefits coming from the states, that can only go on as long as the pandemic health emergency is extended. Okay. So that's why it was a big deal for April 15th to have that pandemic health emergency extended. It had extra Medicaid benefits extended. And I mean, really, there's a lot of different things here. So the virus itself, we do need to keep an eye on that. We do need to keep an eye on that. And remember, China it's under a lockdown of 400 million people. And really, at the end of the day, we got to think about all of our loved ones, almost 1 million people that have passed away as well. We got to think about the businesses. Almost 40, somewhere around 40% of businesses have failed, have gone out of business from the pandemic. Think about that. Think about all the people that lost their jobs from the pandemic as well and had to go find new jobs. Or think about all the people that just left the workforce. So, yeah, it's just a really big thing, and it's still continuing to go on. Remember, it wasn't that long ago, January, February, that we had literally the massive spike. I know people want it to be over, but that doesn't actually make it over. So, and if you really look at what's going on in other parts of the world right now, they're actually under their worst cases ever. So, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens here. But if we just look at what's happening in other parts of the world, that I have a feeling that this probably won't be the last of it here. But you can let me know your thoughts here. But based on what I've seen in the comments and what I've seen here is that a lot of people are catching it more than once, and the natural immunity really doesn't last that long either because again, people are catching it 2, 3 times, 4 times even. So that's the problem here with this virus. It's kind of like a cold or the flu. You can catch a cold or catch a flu more than once. So I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. At least they're coming out with these, antiviral pills and stuff that you can basically take once you catch it. I don't know. You let me know your thoughts here. I'll keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country and what they're coming out with here on a daily basis. So make sure to subscribe down below here to our channel. It's completely free to do so. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click here to watch our newest video next. You can click this bottom video here about rent assistance, mortgage assistance, and utility assistance, new video on that. And this video about new food benefits and SNAP benefits that just came out that you might not know about that you can qualify for here as well. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.